Hey, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about how we create newsletters in 2.0. And this is a lot different than what we did in the first version. And the reason why is because we have advanced with our technology a lot. And we have definitely cracked the code to some amazing things inside of our platform. Okay. So when we started this, we were leveraging AI, all right? But mainly we were doing like ChatGPT on the side, or you might recall that we built a custom GPT for you. And so we were doing stuff like link teasers, and then eventually we created custom combo blocks where people could go and kind of like build out their own custom blocks where they weren't using AI, right? Like we went through this stage and we kind of evolved as we went along, but then we discovered something that was a true game changer. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, but right now I want you to understand the overall concept and the vision. So the big thing, the secret to all of this was one thing. It was the articles. The articles that you see right there on the screen that were created with ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Claude, like whatever AI platform you use, these articles right here are what kind of changed everything. And so I really need you to pay attention because I'm going to try to map this whole thing out so that you understand just what a vital role the articles play. Because when I tell people you're going to create articles, they're like, well, wait a minute, I thought I was going to create a newsletter. No, you are. You're going to do both at once. Like we're going to kill two birds with one stone. Okay. So the articles are so very important. And the reason why I want you to do this, the reason why I want you to learn this is because AI can create the whole article for you. There's no competition in your backyard. If you were to go open up Google or YouTube, and if you were to type in the name of your city or whatever, I promise you it's dominated by realtors. It doesn't matter where you're at around the world. Realtors own those listings, okay? Because they want to get traffic and they want to do their foreclosures and their open houses and everything else. And so Google has kind of given us a pass. They've kind of given us some exceptions because they want your content. Google loves your articles and your newsletters, okay? So we're able to get away with some things that you normally would not get away with in a competitive, like a competitive niche. Like if you were to, have a newsletter about marketing or Forex or AI or, Bitcoin, like it's super, super competitive and the whole world is trying to get that traffic. But when it comes to local, nobody has really gone out there and gone after this traffic. They've never been able to make it work. And a lot of the reason why, and you might remember from 1.0, they didn't understand that there was business owners that were signing up for our publication, okay? So these articles, true game changer. So here's what I'm going to do. If you've been with me for any time, you know that I love mapping stuff out inside of Google Draw. It is a free tool. I highly recommend it. I map everything out inside of Draw. And so I'm going to do my best to map this out right now so that you can leave this video and you go, okay, I have now connected the dots between the articles and the newsletter and how it's going to benefit me, how it's going to get me massive traffic, more authority, higher rankings, and ultimately more subscribers, which means more advertisers, more publishers, more money for you. All right, and here we go. You see we're over here on Google Draw. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box over here. And this is going to be our newsletter. Okay, there we go. So we have our newsletter, and I'm going to put him over here. Okay. Now, our newsletter in 1.0 consisted of link teasers. That's where you give it a link, and then it writes a teaser for you, which was pretty cool at the time. Okay. In addition to that, we also had like custom combos, right? We had like the AI articles where you give it keywords and it creates the articles for you, right? All of this stuff was kind of in there. And then what we taught you was to do like Q&A and to do like things you didn't know. And then at the top we had like a trivia question. And then we always told you pull in a video at the top. Okay. And then from there, you might remember inside of like the 11 ingredients and stuff like that, we saw where people were doing all kinds of stuff inside their newsletter, right? So the first thing was we started featuring dogs that were about to be euthanized, right? And then we started seeing people listing the weather. And then we were seeing people listing homes for sale. Then we saw people going into Facebook Marketplace and they were pulling items that were like, people really cracked the code to making this newsletter highly valuable for a local community, okay? And then we had our custom GPT that would go and find all the events and everything. That was perfect. All right. But then we went out there and we introduced a new concept because we saw the opportunity where people had the chance to snag these listings out there on Google. And so if you've ever done a search on Google, you probably haven't searched and found very many newsletters. Okay, so we said, okay, well, what can we do different to get us traffic from Google so that we can get subscribers to our newsletter? And so what we came up with was, let's use AI to go out there and write articles in our area. And the whole concept was when people found our article, then they would go ahead and enter their email to be subscribed to the newsletter. Okay. Now something happened on accident that we weren't expecting. And this is where it was a true game changer. So we might go out there and this article might be about, I'm in Summerlin, right? So it might be about the Summerlin Hospital. It could be about an accident that took place, right, over here on the main road, right? So I'll just say motorcycle accident, okay? So specific, that article is very, very specific. We noticed that a new restaurant opened up the other day. So we can write an article on the new restaurant, right? And all this stuff, I'll show you how easy we do this. It is super, super easy. Like you're not writing anything, right? You're already taking proven content and repurposing it. So this one over here might be the police department was hiring, right? So she made an article for this one the other day, right? We'll take a deeper look at this here in a little bit. But first, I just want you to understand the overall concept. So we said, okay, let's use AI to very easily go create articles, and it's on the same domain. So they're going to get indexed and ranked inside of Google. And then when people find the article, they're going to go enter their email address and they're subscribed to the newsletter. That was the whole concept. What we didn't understand at the time was we could take everything that was already working and then we could simply bring this over here and we could combine all this. And all of these pieces now made one newsletter. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this back for a minute. And I'm going to say that this is the Google search. Okay, so when you open up the search engine, the overall goal is when you type in motorcycle accident Summerlin, this article pops up. When you type in Summerlin Hospital, you might be on the first page, you might be on the 5th page. There's some work, but this article pops up. If you type in the name of the restaurant, this article pops up, and so on. Right, so we have all this happening over here in the Google search, but at the same exact time, we could go ahead and kill two birds with one stone, and we could bring all of these blocks into our actual newsletter as well. Okay, so I'm going to change this to say the traditional way. This was the 1.0 version of doing the newsletter, and now what we're able to do is we're able to go and also add all of these articles to the newsletter as well. Okay, so this is now, this right here is the new 2.0 newsletter. All right, and I'm going to kind of show you an example of this. I'm going to show you where we have pulled in articles. Now, word of warning, and I had a talk with my partner this morning too. It's very, very easy to forget where you came from. In other words, it's very, very easy. What do I want to say? It's very, very easy to get lazy with this and just use all the articles. And I don't want you guys to do that. And here's the reason why. Okay? Excuse me. You don't want to lose what made this work to start with. When you went in there and you were doing your link teasers and your custom combos and and you were using, you know, the GPT to pull in the latest events and dates, you still need to do all that. We don't want to get away from that, okay? But what I'm starting to understand is that 70% of your article or 70% of your newsletter, okay, 70% of newsletter can be articles, all right? And then, oops, let me do that. And then your other 30% can be the stuff that you did in 1.0. All right, so we come over here, and this can be like the 30%, okay? So we go like this, and this is 30%. You add them both up, and that's 100% of your newsletter, okay? So everything you learn in 1.0, I still want you to do that. And then everything you're gonna learn inside of 2.0, I want you to add it to 1.0. And now you have the most incredible newsletter. But the best part in all this, see, the traditional way of doing the newsletter, you had to do a lot of this because you didn't have anything to supplement. Well, now we're able to supplement these articles. So let me go ahead and see. And I just realized I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to come over here to one of her like first newsletters that we did. Okay, so if we look at this one right here, let's just go ahead and take a look. So she's got a video at the top. She's got local events, right? And all this can come from that GPT. So you want to keep doing that. And then you got new and noteworthy business events, right? Locations, happy hour, right? And then we have like the dog publication, and then things to know. And then you can see she put a lot of work into this. She would put about 3 hours of work in there. And what happened is, and like I said, we had a talk this morning, is we have to find a balance. If I look at the new one now, what you're going to see is, yeah, we still have a video at the top. We have local events, but guess what? This is an article. Good. So if I were to go ahead and click here, you're going to see it's going to open up an article. So this is getting ranked locally, okay? And at the same time, we have pulled it into the newsletter. Pretty incredible, right? And if I come down a little bit lower, this is an article as well. And this is an article as well. And this is, I don't know what this is, right? But whatever she's doing. And then we got some secret hacks and everything else. Okay, so you can see that we are primarily 100% articles. But what we want to do is take what she originally did, which was this over here. No, not this one. Hold on, I'm bouncing around. Let's go look at this one again. Let's look at our newsletters. Okay. We want to take all the magic that she had in here. We want to keep this magic, but we don't have to have as much of it. Okay. So we want to keep these elements, and then we want to combine them with the articles. And what's going to happen is your time for creating a newsletter is going to be cut down to about a quarter. All right. So I hope you understand. I'm going to show you exactly how to create these articles. And you know, later on, I think you'll find great interest in this. You'll want to learn how to get them ranked. And when somebody types in these keywords or whatever, we can show you how to get to the top of the search engines and everything else. That has to do a lot with SEO and backlinking and everything else. And we got plans for all that. But right now, I just wanted you to understand that I want you to create articles, and then you're going to use those articles to get ranked locally in Google, yeah, in YouTube if you turn them into videos. And then over here, they are also going to be a part of your newsletter. Okay? So hopefully now you have a better understanding, and I'll see you in the next video.